Hello, I'm Hutchins. I am your one-stop financial supermarket with home delivery. I help families earn more income, get properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent. I'm doing this video series based on a seminar that I do for churches and small groups, and it's called How Money Works. I do this because there is a big misconception, a big misunderstanding, a big myth out there, however you want to phrase that. And the myth, I call it a myth out there, that the average everyday person cannot become a millionaire, or that you cannot become financially independent. You have the power to accumulate wealth beyond your dreams. There are many people out there that have never earned a six-figure income that are financially independent. If you'll put to use what I teach you in these videos and in the seminars, actually implement them. Okay, you can read all the books, you can watch all the videos you want to, but if you don't do something with what you're learning, then you're really not moving ahead. You're getting a lot smarter, maybe sometimes confused, because there's a lot of different things out there. So what I'm going to teach you is some common sense principles, and the good news is if you implement them, then you can get out of debt, you can start building savings, and get on the path to being financially independent. Bad news, always good news, bad news, right? Bad news is only you can do it. I can't do it for you. So if you're ready to change your life forever, let's get started. Let's not waste any time. All right, so we're going to talk about, the first thing we talk about is taking control. We have to worry about things that we can control and not things that we cannot control. We're burning a lot of energy a lot of times trying to worry about things that we have no control over. You can vote for whoever to change whatever. That's a whole different seminar, somebody else's video, watch, whatever. First thing we talk about that we cannot control is Social Security. It's either going to be here or not be here when we get to that point. Really, that's all you can say, because they're always back and forth. So let's not worry about it. We can't really control it, so let's not worry about it. The second thing is your employer. Can you control your employer? No. Go to work, grab a check, work hard, do good for your company, and hopefully they do benefits for you, but we can't worry about it, okay? They're either going to do or not do. The next thing is your taxes. You have to pay your taxes. Now, part of this video series, we will teach you how to minimize your taxes. The next thing, rising costs and inflation. Not much we can do about it. Everything's getting a little more expensive as it goes. Typical average, we always play with 3% is the kind of the average of inflation throughout time here. So when we talk about taking control, we want to control the things that we can control, like saving for retirement, earning an additional income, ways to reduce your taxes, which is going to be its own video. Maximize your saving and saving more, and then have a little diversity in your savings, in your investment choices. All right, now when I talk about taking control, we talk about these certain areas. There's 8 of these, and we'll go over them pretty quick, and then I'm going to back up and go and dive into them just a little deeper. First one is, and if you're writing this down, there is a pause. You can pause this so you catch up on your notes. And if you're not writing this down, pause this, get a piece of paper, and start taking some notes. First one is taking control. You got to pay yourself first. Adjust your priorities. Change your thinking. Adjust your lifestyle. Earn additional income, realign your assets, avoid the credit trap, set some goals, and have a plan. Got them all? First one, pay yourself first. That is probably one of the most important things that you're going to learn in this whole deal that we're going across or going over. Pay yourself first. I meet people all the time that have not one single problem writing a check to the credit card every month for little amounts or enormous amounts, but yet they balk at the idea of writing themselves a check. You need to pay yourself just like you're paying a bill every month. Whether it's $25, $50, or a percentage of your income, that needs to go into your investment program every month. That's the pay yourself first. It's number one important. You don't even need to watch anymore. I'm just kidding. Adjust your priorities. What does that mean? That's really talking about priorities. Do I need this or don't I need this? Is it just where your impulse there's a saying out there that if you earn $10 and you spend $9, that usually equals happiness. If you earn $10 and spend $11, that'll equal misery. Understand? Change your thinking. We got to change the way we're thinking. We have the kind of the old school, what we're taught and learned throughout, and you'll find out that none of this is taught. It should have been taught through school. We'd all be a lot better off. So change your thinking, and when I say that, I won't just give it to you I want you to change your thinking. It'll make sense. It'll be a common sense idea, and when you implement it, you'll definitely see that changing your thinking is a lot more to it. And I will say that a bunch in this video series. I say it a bunch at the seminars. Adjust your lifestyle. What does that mean? Now, we do a financial needs analysis for our clients, and we zero in, we get the budgets and everything, but it doesn't really zero in on habits. Habits like, I meet a lot of people that, it's funny that they tell me that they cannot, Hutch, don't worry, I don't have any money to invest. I've got more bills than I have month, and paycheck to paycheck. Well, you're watching this video, guess what? Everybody's paycheck to paycheck. Just about 50% of Americans are anyway. Now, but when I meet with these people, they got a big old cup of coffee with the brand name on it. I'm not going to mention any brand names. Now, I love my coffee. I'm not knocking this. I'm just giving you an example about changing your lifestyle and how bad you want to get on the path to being financially independent, because the next video is going to show you time and consistency. And when I say people, now some of these people with coffee, and you might be one of them, I don't know, there's 2 or 3 times a day they buy that cup of coffee at $5 or $6 a cup. You love your coffee, you're paying for it, and you're paying your bills, you're being responsible, hey, I've got not a problem. But adjusting your lifestyle would be, if you did away with 1 cup of coffee a day, that's $5 a day. 5 days a week, that's $25. Times 4 weeks a month, that's $100 a month. And in the next video, when you see what $100 a month over a long period of time, it will behoove you, and probably, hopefully the light bulb goes off and you'll change your way of thinking. Buy a coffee pot and some creamer to make it taste like that. $5 cup of coffee. There's other avenues. I'm just saying, adjusting your lifestyle. There's different things we can look at. Earn additional income. It's getting a part-time job. And if you kind of like what we're doing in this video, and you see that it can help you and we can help others, we do have positions open for part-time help. Okay? Now, realign your assets. Realigning your assets means, where do you have your money? You probably have it in a bank or a credit union or an insurance company in a cash value policy or something like that. And we just help you realign it to make it work better for you. Avoid the credit trap. Now, that is a video all by itself, talking about credit and debt, or the credit trap and debt. And then set some goals and have a plan. The old saying is, people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. And we're going to help you out on that. Now let's go back to the first one, pay yourself first, right? So when we talk about paying ourselves first, we're talking about how much, the old saying is not what you make, it's what you do with the money you make, right? So we have a little calculation we do for people just to kind of see where you are financially a little bit in your savings. So take your average income, just your estimate that you've worked, your average income if you work 10 years, 40 years, 50 years, whatever your average annual income is, just write that down on the paper. Now write down and then multiply however many years you've been working. Okay, that'll give you your total amount of income earned. Give you a second. Now, how much do you have in savings? What do you have? $10, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, whatever you have in savings, put that number there. Now divide the savings by your amount of income, and that will give you a percentage. And now this is kind of a starting point for us to kind of see, hey, I'm only saving 2%, so we need to work on, see what's happening to get you to 10 to 15%. We like to make sure that you're debt free before we start throwing 10 to 15, 20% into savings. But But that gives us a starting point. You might be saving 20%, but yet you're not paying your bills. It's different ways of looking at this, but this gives you a little idea of where you're starting at. Now, when we talk about savings, everybody wants to talk about retirement, and there's a lot of ads out there on TV, on Facebook about retirement funds. Some are a little depressing, but other, because they, if you have $500,000, call me, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, remember we're talking about average everyday people. When you're setting up in a retirement fund or a retirement account, there's 3 accounts that you need to have to do this right. And I always say if you're going to do something, do it right. The first one is an emergency fund, and that is typically 3 to 6 months worth of income in an account, and it's there for emergencies. If the car breaks down or the heating and air stops in your house, you lose your job, typically 3 to 6 months everything can get resolved and you're paying your bills while you have whatever the problem is, or paying that bill. And no, you cannot use the credit card for emergencies only. That's not good. You'll find that out what happens and the problem with that idea in the video that we do talking about debt and avoiding the credit trap. Okay, now, so we've got the emergency fund. The next fund that we do is called our short-term fund. And what that is for things that you want. You want to take a vacation, you want to buy a computer, a used car. And I never said a new car, I said used car. Now, what is that? Remember, again, we're setting some goals and have a plan. To have a plan, we just take and say, okay, I need a new computer. I want to take a vacation. What does that cost? How much money do I need to save a month? That's what goes into your short-term savings. Now, the next is our long-term savings, which is retirement and college funds. So we take that into account, and everybody asks me, well, Hutch, why do I need 3 accounts? I want money just going into my retirement account. Okay, well, if you have an emergency and you need a lump sum of money, or to pay something, or to take care of a bill, the car breaking down, whatever it is, if the only place you have money is in a retirement account, then that's the only place you can go get it, right? So, and then most funds are tax deferred or tax deductible, whatever. So when you take it out of there, now you got to claim that as income. You got to pay a penalty on it. It just makes a big mess, and it takes away from your retirement. Now, if you have a problem and you get in a situation, you might stop the amount of money going to your retirement until you get whatever resolved. But if you have the emergency fund and you set it up right, it's not that big of a deal and you're taken care of. Always be prepared. All right. So now we've got to talk about where we're starting, what percentage of savings that you're saving, so we kind of know that getting started and where we're at. Paying yourself first. We're talking about adjust your priorities, change your thinking, adjust your lifestyle, earn additional income, realign your assets, avoid the credit trap, and set some goals and have a plan. Now, if you like what you hear on this video, the next video is going to be on time and consistency, and we will be, the video will be out pretty quick, and we will see where we're going from there. If you'd like to contact me to set up a one-on-one or to see where you're at, if you have any questions, comments, you can go to hutchins.com, and there are request forms in there, and give me some information. Be glad to meet with you. Like I said, on the next video we're talking about time and consistency. Look forward to talking to you then. Thank you.